A new opinion poll has sounded a warning to Campbell Newman. In the seat he must win if he's to become Premier, Labor is fighting back. The incumbent, Kate Jones, is still trailing the LNP leader, but the gap is closing and there's still 6 weeks left to run in the battle for Ashgrove. They're the loyal foot soldiers on the front line of any election campaign, giving up their time to sit on the pavement, hand out flyers and wave at passing traffic.
We start about 7:30 in the morning, put up signs and really we just talk to people as they're going past. They often ask questions. Generally people are quite friendly and there's a sense of humour about what's happening, I think. But you get the odd, finger out the car window, but you just take it with a smile.
Mwah! Love ya!
All for the cause they believe in.
I do feel passionate. I'm a retiree and plenty of time on my hands, too hot to garden and hot to trot on the elections.
I think most of us would do whatever we have to do to see that she's re-elected.
Nowhere is the battle more fierce than Ashgrove.
I feel really passionately about keeping Kate.
I support Kate. I don't necessarily support the Labor Party, but I think Kate's a great state member.
Campbell Newman is the reason why I got involved in politics. He's pretty much an inspiration to me, so I am trying to do everything I can to get him over the line.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for coming along.
The stakes are high. If Campbell Newman doesn't get over the line in Ashgrove, he won't be Premier. Kate Jones will be a Labor hero if she stops him.
This will be the toughest fight that we have ever seen. This will go right down to the wire.
She might be right.
Look at those results from last night.
Market researcher Reachtel has been polling residents in Ashgrove every month for the last 6 months using an automated questionnaire. Last night, more than 600 people were surveyed.
The primary vote for last night was rather exciting. It's actually the first time that Campbell Newman's dipped below 50% in the last 6 months. So he came in last night at roughly 49% and Kate Jones followed on 41%.
The minor parties all polled in single digits. Forced to choose between the leading candidates, the race is even closer, with Kate Jones clawing back ground.
We've now got Campbell on 51 and Kate at 49, which I believe is actually the closest two-party preferred or forced choice that we've had.
Morning, boys.
Kate Jones last year quit her post as Environment Minister to concentrate on the battle in Ashgrove.
What's on the menu today?
We have a tuna pasta salad.
Once a month, she volunteers with Meals on Wheels.
Wags his tail, stirs the door.
You're a good boy.
Oh, he does.
You're my little buddy.
It's these local ties, her own personal street cred, that the 32-year-old is basing her campaign around.
I live here, I will always live here, and my son will grow up here, and I think we do deserve someone that will stand up for our local schools and for local services, and that's something I'm very passionate about.
She's won the seat for Labor twice before, but the Labor brand barely rates a mention this time around. Reachtel asked Ashgrove residents about this strategy exclusively for 7:30 Queensland.
Some of her campaign material is lacking the Labor endorsement or the Labor logo. We asked if this made people more likely to vote for her, less likely, or if her vote was unchanged.
For 66% of people, it made no difference.
This is, I think, in this electorate, a choice between an outsider that is using this seat as a stepping stone and someone that grew up here, lives here and is passionate about representing us in the Queensland Parliament.
Campbell Newman lives a few kilometres outside the electorate, but never misses a chance to spell out his Ashgrove connections.
Well, I lived just across the way here, about 200 metres away, for 10 years. Prior to that, I lived for 3 years in the Inogra Army Barracks. My kids do ballet just down the hall there, about 100 yards away. And my bank branch is just around the corner.
How are you?
But that's not close enough for his rival, who's pulled in some big guns to help her campaign.
Here you have a woman of enormous courage. Kate, the local, versus Campbell Newman, the foreigner.
If Kevin Rudd wants to campaign here, I'll keep reminding people that he's part of the Labor Party, Kate Jones is part of the Labor Party, Anna Bligh is part of the Labor Party. They've been in charge in Queensland for 20 of the last 22 years, and it's time for a change. I don't need other people to come in and prop me up. I'll be quite happy to campaign on my track record.
In last night's poll, residents were asked whether the fact Mr Newman does not live in the electorate would change their voting intentions. Almost two-thirds said it made no difference.
60% of people said that their vote was unchanged. We had 14% people said that they were more likely, and roughly 27% of people said that they were less likely to vote for him because of that fact.
Mr Newman says he can be Premier and represent the electorate.
I will get around. One thing people need to remember, I'm high energy, I'm passionate, I'm committed. I can do this job as a local member and I can serve people as the Premier of Queensland if they elect me.
Kate Jones holds the seat of Ashgrove with a 7.1% margin. That would normally be considered a healthy buffer. But there's nothing normal about this campaign. Rarely has the outcome of an election rested so heavily on a single seat. The 31,000 voters here have a big decision to make. And thrown into the mix are three other candidates. One Nation's Ian Nelson.
I'm pretty concerned about the absolute gridlock of traffic. The public transport is pretty bad.
Norman Wicks from Katter's Australian Party.
Living costs are out of kilter and we need to get these back under some control.
And the Greens.
I'm Sandra Bailey and I'm just introducing myself to people.
Dr Bailey acknowledges she's unlikely to win, but she's not about to help the major parties over the line either.
I could recommend neither and I can't envisage either of them prioritising environment. Sadly, environment is usually the last consideration.
This will be a tough race.
Can you win?
Absolutely. It'll be tough. This is the toughest challenge that I'll ever face.
It's been a long march to the ballot box. There are still 6 weeks to go.